Alright pilots, my name is Bill Lawton. I live in Picayune, Mississippi, and I just got finished putting together an A-10 with a few modifications to it. This is one of Banana Hobby's A-10s. It's a beautiful little airplane for being a foam airplane. It has tons of features on it, and I'm going to run through some of them with you. The first thing is that be prepared. When you get to the airplane, the instructions are incredibly not there. Pictures only, no in-depth anything about how to do anything. I guess that's typical of the Chinese. But anyway, the airplane has a few features that I'd like to mention. The body panels on it and the wing panels and everything, as you can see, are highly detailed. Even the decals are on it. It has lights on the wing tips, and I added that little light up there, and it has lights on the front of it and lights in the, I don't know why you'd have a cannon with a light on it, but anyway you do. And you have a light down there on the nose retract gear. It does have retract gear and it does have flaps, but the most important thing to me was the fact that it has a canopy that opens and closes by remote control. As you can see, it's pretty neat and pretty fast, and that makes for a sharp airplane. It's sure to be a head stopper out there at the field. Anyway, in addition to that, it does have flaps, and I'll get to those. Of course, this DX8 radio has a servo slow. You can use it on the retracts or flaps or anything you want to, and it allows the the flap to, I can even slow them down further than that, but in general, it's a nice airplane. It has good control throws on it. Pretty good. 70 size electric fans in it, which is pretty powerful for this size airplane. It weighs about 5 pounds, maybe 5.5 pounds, something like that. But it's a really nice little airplane. So I'm going to run through it real quick with you. And then I'll make another video and go into detail on some of this stuff. The back of it comes in 3 pieces. You have the rudder on both sides and the elevator. It's all put together, decals on it and everything. All you have to do is glue the vertical stabilizer onto the elevator platform there and hook up the controls and horns, and you're good to go. The engine nacelles are all one piece. I took those apart and got in there and added some wires to one of the engine. Doesn't matter what color, black, red, yellow, any of them will work, any 2 of them. And that's for the telemetry that I have in the DX8 radio. And it will actually give you engine RPMs, which should be around 33, 33.5, something like that at full throttle. And it's not much, but it just lets you know what your engines are doing. It's fun to watch. You also, with the telemetry, you can get battery power, the main battery power, and I'll go around there and show you that just so you can see. It'll give you the the power of the batteries, the airborne flight pack batteries, and a bunch of stuff. Now I'm gonna take this, and it's just one quick little flick of the switch, and that instantly going to give you the volts in it at 24.3. The RPM is not on and running, so that's not going to register. And the temperature in here is 68 degrees, and so is the battery. I have that wire, that sensor wire, wrapped around the battery, so if you overheat a battery, you can catch that real quick. It also has a flight log that allows you to record the data coming from the receiver as far as transmission signals, so you don't take a chance on crashing your airplane if you're having a bunch of brownouts, or I forget whatever they call them. Anyway, shoot, my mind slips me, but it allows you to read those and then reposition the receiver in another part of the airplane for a better reception. And then over here is just for old people, me, the voltage in big numbers, so you can actually see it without having to look for it while you're flying. And then just flip it back and you're good to go. Alright, the wing section is 3 pieces. 2 tips and the centerpiece, and there is a carbon fiber rod that runs in here. It's about 6-8 inches long. I glued that in with CA glue on one side only. Found it like the halfway point, stuck it in there, glued it, and then came back and epoxied the 2 wingtips on. It'd take you about probably 15 minutes tops to do it if you're using 5-minute epoxy. Not a big deal. One thing I might add is these little guys right here, and I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so you can see them. I don't know exactly what purpose they serve. I'm not even sure on the real airplane, unless it's to give the center of the wing more lift. And I don't know what you call them, but you're going to find them in the box with the rest of the parts, and that's where they go. Because the picture that you get to show them to you pretty much looks like that, and it's like, okay, well, what the hell is that? But anyway, that's where they belong. Now, it comes with all the rockets and bombs. I glued all the little stanchions on, and then I painted the bombs up and got a little color on them, just pretty much so it looked better than plain old gray. But you can do whatever you want. You don't even have to put them on if you don't want to. It's a nice looking airplane. I'm going to go around the back here. It comes with this little antenna. It has actually several antennas on it. The other ones you can't see unless it's flying, but I'm sure it'll look good in the air. There's a couple of 2 or 3 of them back there that are antennas. And while I'm back here, I'll give you a shot at the landing gear. It has shocks on them. All of them have shocks on them, and all of them are retractable. The nose gear, as it comes up, it rotates 90 degrees, and it does have a gear door that comes in and closes behind it, so that's pretty neat. In general, the airplane, I think, is probably pretty solid. It flies great. It has no bad habits that I know of. That in particular is just amazing how they could figure out how to get that thing to slide back and then go up and then just do the reverse to close it. The engines are pretty powerful. Just to hold it and go to full throttle, it puts a pretty good push against you. I actually believe they have maybe 6.5 pounds of thrust on a 5 or 5.5 pound airplane, so you know it'll go vertical with no trouble. And all in all, I think it's a great airplane. The part that isn't great is the fact that if you ever have a problem with it, you have to go to Banana Hobby. That's disastrous. So what I did to avoid some of the problems, because as you can see if I pan over there, I have a MiG-29, and around the corner on the floor over there from the MiG, I also have one of Banana Hobby's Su-47s. Great flying airplane. Another one with tremendous panel lines and attention to detail. Both of them have drag chutes on them and thrust vectoring, retractable gear. This one over here has smoke flares, flaps and slats, cockpit ejection, cockpit canopy ejection, all kinds of whistles and bells. But nevertheless, back to this. Banana Hobby's the problem. The radios are cheeky, and if you have a good DX7 or good DX8, this radio will fly on that with no problem. The 6-channel or the AUX1 is for the flaps, and 7-channel or AUX2 is for the canopy open. Save your time, don't waste your money. Keep your own radio and battery as well. I'm going to give you on the next little video, I'll make a part 2 of this that'll go into a little bit more detail on it, and I'll let you know where to go and get some really good batteries at really good prices with some really good people to deal with, and that way you don't have to worry about Banana Hobby, because quite honestly, after months of trying to get bad batteries replaced, battery chargers replaced, canopies replaced, and all this stuff from Banana Hobby, I never have been able to do it. And I think it's absolutely a disgrace and deplorable that they would do that to the general public who is spending their good money to buy their products, and they won't even honor them. So anyway, that's that, and I just wanted to give you this little quick rundown on this little jet, and we'll be back with another review before too long. So y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching. And I'm Bill Lawton. I live in Picayune, Mississippi, and y'all go fly.